Today, we wanted to bring you advice for questions that mom photographers are scared to ask.
I think, okay, so some of these questions, they're legit questions, and I feel like we ask them in the dark because we don't want people to judge us. We don't want other photographers to judge us. We don't want other moms to judge us. And honestly, it's no avoiding it. We all feel this.
Oh, we all feel it. And we've also talked about how we genuinely want to be your like safe space, comfort zone. And so we want to answer these questions that moms have that they're scared to ask or feel like they shouldn't ask and give advice. We all have questions.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to dive right in. Hang on.
Let's do it.
Is it okay that I don't want to photograph my own kids all the time?
I have a couple answers to this.
Yes. I don't want to photograph my own kids all the time.
I don't either. First of all,
photographer kid.
Yeah, literally, photographer kids don't even listen, first of all. Except my youngest, she's a ham. And then second, my kids don't love having their picture taken. And I think that's okay. I never want my kids to look back and be like, oh yeah, I remember when you made us take all these photos. If my kids loved having their photos taken, I would probably do it more, but they don't. So yes, I do every now and then take photos of my kids, obviously to remember their childhood and like look back on stuff. But I don't want to take photos of my kids just to take photos of my kids when they don't like it.
Well, and I feel like this question also ties into the other one we got, which was like, what if I don't want to photograph my kids to market with my kids' pictures? And I don't. I actually stopped sharing.
Kids,
yeah. Jinx.
I do not share my kids.
Well, and it's like, so I think if your kids are like, some kids are legit paid models, where they're in child acting, child modeling, and that makes sense. And some kids, legit don't want their photo taken. And then I stopped sharing my kids online for personal reasons. And it's like, some people don't realize right away looking at my profile that I am a mom because I just don't share my children anymore.
Right. I don't either. And mine are a few different reasons. I have some personal reasons that I don't, but then also like, I think about, because we didn't grow up with this and like, I'm glad there's not a lot of photographic evidence of the things that we did as children. Right. But I don't want my kids to look back on posts or something that I made and posted of them that they didn't necessarily want shared or something. Like I never want them to look back and be
digital
like,
footprint.
Really cool. Thanks, Mom. I'm so glad that you shared a picture of me with my underwear on my head. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'll have these photos for them, but like I want them to be able to like keep them or share them on their own time.
I mean, 90s babies, like I'll put them in the album. You decide whether we share them or not. And like part of my mom heart is just like, oh, look at my baby. They're so cute. And like, you know what I mean? Like, look at my baby. We were doing this at the coffee shop this morning. It's like, look at our kids. But like, I just didn't want to have to worry about like the digital footprint.
Exactly.
And so I feel like if you don't want to share your kids, that's totally fine. If you do want to share your kids, that's fine. That's your prerogative.
If you love sharing your kids and your kids love having their photos taken, like that's totally fine. It's a personal choice and it's okay to make either way.
Yeah. So I feel like, well, we're validating you, whatever your answer is.
Yeah.
Okay. So another question here. How do I ask for help with childcare without feeling like I'm failing?
I feel this so heavy because my mother-in-law is so great at watching our kids. Like our kids love going over there. They love her. I still feel guilty when I ask her to watch them. It's a personal problem that honestly, this one is going to be more blunt. Like you have to get over it.
Yeah.
Like you literally just have to get over it. It's part of life. It's part of the season you're in. And I know that it can feel hard to ask for help, and asking for help in general can feel like you're failing. But for one, you're not. And two, like you're just going to have to do it. Like just suck it up.
I don't want to ask for help. No. I think the hardest part in asking for help, honestly, is when you first become a mom. Because I remember it with Mercer. I was like, no, I can do it. I can be a stay-at-home mom. I can run my business. I don't need childcare.
Well, for me too, a lot of it felt like a chore. Like I don't want to have to give you work, you know, like when I asked my mother-in-law, I don't want to have to give you work. But she reminded me one time, she's like, they're my grandkids and I enjoy spending time with them.
Yeah, that's what my mom does.
Oh yeah. Like this isn't like me asking you to do a job necessarily. This is like, oh yeah, I should like give you that time with my kids because they enjoy it. So flipping your mindset sometimes too. And if it's not a family member, if you're hiring a babysitter, that gets easier as time goes on too. And if you're like, yes, I want to hire one, but I'm kind of uncomfortable, or like I'm trying to figure it out, you can hire one and like be home.
You're allowed to do a test run.
You can be like, hire them to be in the house, in a playroom and whatever, and like go work in your room, go work in an office, go work in a different space. Like you can literally be at home while they're being watched. So then if something does happen, you're there. Like that's okay too. Like that's a good, happy, like middle ground.
I like when I first hired my babysitter, which we love Ashley. I stayed home to work, or like I would work in my room, but like, it's not that I was spying on her by any means. And it's not that I was trying to get comfortable with the fact that I was giving the responsibility of my child to someone else, but then also like, oh, I'm here if something happens. But then like,
if you can give yourself peace of mind, if you are at a point where you can't do that and you have a babysitter and you're going to go work at a coffee shop, but the entire time you're working at the coffee shop, you're thinking about what's happening at home and you're not getting work done, that's defeating the entire purpose. Like you should be able to work on that intended time because our time is so sacred and valuable. Like you can be home with them.
Well, and now it's like when Ashley does come over, peace, mama's gonna go.
Yeah, now it's like there was a commercial. I can't remember what it was.
Probably a Super Bowl.
But it was like with the first kid and it was, here's this bag, here's this bag, here's this list, here's this. And then by the third one, they're just like whipping all the baby stuff and like, oh yeah, here's a diaper maybe.
Oh, no, seriously. And plus like my boys love Ashley. And like another reason I've stayed home first is I was still like, is this a safe person with my children? And once I have established that trust, and that trust takes time to build, I left the house. And like it wasn't weird by any means, because it's not like I was hovering over like, oh my God, you gave him a goldfish. No. But it does take time to develop that trust with a babysitter. I think it also takes time to develop that, okay, they're safe. Like I went through it again when I put Mercer in preschool, and I'm like, he was crying. I can't believe I just left him there. Yeah. And then like within a week, not even 2 days of going, bye mom, love you.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
It's always harder on us as parents than it is on them as kids.
Yeah. And I feel like it's okay that you feel guilty, but you just got to be brave and extend the trust, find someone you trust, and then do the steps that you need to do, whether that's staying home and being in ear's length or whatever. I don't know. So you can hear what's going on. But then I feel like once you find the right person, it just gets easier with childcare.
Or like I said, get over it. No, I'm just kidding.
Ooh, okay. This one's kind of spicy. Am I taken less seriously because I'm a mom?
No.
I mean, look at us. Do you take us seriously?
No.
I feel like it has everything to do with how you present yourself. Being a mom is just part of your personality. But if you don't present yourself in a way that's trustworthy as a business owner, as a human being, then yeah, you're probably not taken seriously. But just being a mom.
I think it depends on your client. You can either become more relatable or less relatable. Because let's say you photograph a wedding and your couple doesn't have kids. Like, yes, if you have kids, like they're not going to understand what it's like to be a parent. Some of my couples do have kids and then we bond over that. Or if you shoot family sessions, some people will go out of their way to hire family photographers that have kids because they get it.
Or I was thinking like, yeah, a high school senior probably doesn't necessarily care that you have kids.
Right.
But at the same time, certain high school seniors might, because they might be looking for that big sister mom energy.
Right.
Who's like, okay, they're going to make sure my hair looks nice. They're going to make sure I look nice. They're going to make sure my shirt's tucked.
It all depends like how you present it.
And I just feel like it has everything to do with being a mom is part of who you are, but it's not everything.
Right.
Just like being a photographer is part of who you are, but it's not everything. It has everything to do with just how you present yourself as a person, and if other people can take you seriously as a business person.
Remembering that you have an identity outside of mom and business owner, because sometimes I think we get a little too wrapped up into one or the other or both.
Which, I mean, it happens.
It does.
Seasons. I mean, I got really caught up into weddings pre-kids. And now I'm like, I got all aspects of my personality now. Okay, here we go. What's another one? Can I raise my prices even though I'm just a mom with a camera? Are you though? Didn't we just say this? You are more than just a mom. You are more than just a photographer.
There's a lot of mindset work here to unpack.
Go listen to our pricing episode.
Yep. That's all that he'd said.
Yeah.
No.
Like, I feel like our pricing episode was episode 25. So go listen to that one. And that one has everything to do with why your pricing doesn't have anything necessarily to do with being a mom with a camera.
You will feel confident in your prices if you know your cost of doing business and you know all of, like, you just won't question that anymore. You'll be like, yes, this is my price and this is why. If you can back up your pricing is not just like, I'm going to throw a dart at a wall and whatever number it lit. Like, if you listen to our pricing episode, you will understand that pricing there's reasons behind it. And you will just feel a lot more confident if you know every cent as to why.
Yeah. And then it won't have anything to do with just being a mom with a camera. Yeah. Okay. I feel like this question might be geared towards me. What if I want to shoot weddings or elopements, but everyone thinks I should stay in the mom niche? And I mean, like, obviously you shoot weddings too, but with the keyword in there, elopements. No, you don't have to stay in any box that you don't want to put yourself in.
I also don't have to niche down either.
I'll put myself in the box sets and I'll put myself in the podcast boxes. But I'm not just a mom. I'm not just an elopement photographer. I love travel. I love destinations. I love helping my couples plan all of these things, but I want absolutely nothing to do with being a newborn photographer. And I love my kids just the same. I take them with me. And I feel like half the time my clients, they find it so cool that I can take my kids hiking with me. And it's been a minute since I've taken them to an elopement just because I like a break.
Yeah.
But like, I don't stay in the mom niche and I'm doing just fine.
It comes down to connection. Like, yes, I love photographing weddings, but then my couples will come back around and be like, hey, it's time for like my maternity photos, or now we have a baby. Like, can you take our family photos? And it all comes down to that connection.
Well, and if you feel like someone is pigeonholing you into, well, you're just a mom, you have to stay over here and shoot families, you have to stay home. Show them why you don't. Like, show off your branding, show off why you love what you do, whether that's elopements, whether that's weddings, whether it's like, okay, I'm doing this is me and my business. And then I'm coming home and I'm showing my kids, like, this is why I love this. This is so cool. Like, you don't have to be in any sort of box, or you don't have to do something in business if it doesn't bring you joy.
Exactly. You don't have to like be just the wedding photographer, just the elopement photographer, just the mom. Like, I like doing families sometimes. I like doing seniors sometimes. You can do whatever you want.
I feel like I already know your answer to this question.
I'm scared.
How do I create during a season where I feel completely touched out and exhausted?
I have a few answers to this, actually.
Okay.
What did you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to be like, boundaries.
That too. Number one answer, boundaries. Episode number 1 through infinity. I was going to say shoot creatively.
Yeah.
Shoot for yourself. Go do something fun when you feel that way, but also take a freaking break.
Yeah. Slam the laptop shut till Monday, bro.
Like, if you're looking for something in business to do, shoot creatively, shoot something fun. Otherwise, if you're like, I'm touched out, I need a break, I need all the things, literally clock yourself out and don't touch it, and get out of the house. Go meet with a friend for coffee.
Go to Wisconsin with Alex and Jamie.
Sit in Milwaukee on a green couch. Go get lunch with a friend. Hire a babysitter, not for work, but for fun. Go on a date with your spouse. Go do something else.
I was going to say, I was feeling really touched out, like just done. And I had like a whole day with my sister. We went out for breakfast. We had coffee. We had breakfast. Like, we had lunch. We had
breakfast. We had breakfast twice.
Food. Okay, what about second breakfast? Always quoting the Hobbits. But like, we just literally opened the map and we're like, let's go try this. And then we just did the most random day of trying stuff. And like, yes, we did spend money doing things that day, but
do things
sometimes
that you don't
gotta
have,
YOLO.
you don't have responsibilities.
Yeah.
Like, hire somebody to watch your kids, or have your spouse watch them, or family, whatever. And then no work responsibilities. Like, just don't have responsibilities for a day.
It seriously helps. Like I honestly, and I was so happy tired at the end of that day. I was like, wow, that was fun. Like you got to be a kid again.
And even I think getting out of the house is a huge part of it too, because I'm not even talking about like close your laptop and then when the kids go to bed, watch a movie. Like, because then I know I have that mom guilt feeling of like, well, I'm watching a movie, but maybe I should be doing laundry. Maybe I should be doing dishes. Maybe I should be doing this instead. And it's like, get away from all that to where you can't physically like touch those things that you should be doing and get out, leave right now.
It's the end of work and me. No.
It's too late. Okay. Stop.
Jojo, we love you. No, we were talking about Jojo on the way here.
We were.
Okay. Sorry. Back to work.
I love JoJo.
Yeah. Take a break. Just take a break. Okay. This one was, I feel like we've kind of answered this one maybe, but like, I just want to touch on it again. Is it wrong that I want this to be more than just a side hustle?
No.
Like, I feel like sometimes as moms, we feel guilty. The 1950s housewife, we have to be the trad wives because it's trending on TikTok or something. And I feel like sometimes we feel guilty that we want to be the breadwinner or we want to go to work. And I know like we both have experienced this. Both of our husbands love being stay-at-home dads. And it's not because they don't want to work. They want to do the work at home. They want to work on the furnace, the homestead, the planting the trees, and the sweaty man work. Yum.
Daniel was in his element.
Yes.
When he was planting our garden and trees and everything the other day. The sweaty husband.
The sweaty husband.
That's always the time where I'm like, do you want a hug or something right now? And he's like, I'm sweaty. Like, don't touch me.
If you are a fan of Modern Family, there's like this scene with Gloria and she's like, people think I just like him for his money, but it's actually when he's on the phone and he's like, you better fix her car right now. Or like, It's like, yes. I'm like literally, and I know that people look at us and they're like, oh, so what does your husband do? And he runs the household. He fixes the furnace. So I have AC. So I'm not a bee. He does the man work, the mowing of the lawn. And he also helps like making sure that, okay, can you pick up the kids from school? Can you take them up to my parents? Yes, he also still has a 9 to 5. He works IT and he loves IT. But at the end of the day, like he would rather be the stay-at-home dad and I would rather be the breadwinner. And I feel like that confuses some people still, even though like, I know it's only been 50 years, but like
Daniel has elements of both because he also is a coffee roaster. So then like we've been able to relate on a lot now because, before that we owned the coffee shop. So when he entered that, it was like we both were able to understand each other's business minds. Because before when he didn't run a business, it was like hard to be like, no, like you don't get it. Like you don't, and now that we had the shop and then now that we sold that and he roasts, and he like, we'll be talking about how many visitors do your website have today? Like we can relate to a lot of that and that's super fun. But yeah, having him home and doing all that, like he thrives on that. Like he does love that.
And if you want to be more than a side hustle, do it, chase it. Like literally, I don't even know what song this is, but it's like, if you have a dream, chase it. It's not going to chase you back.
I saw something the other day and I was like, I don't know if I've ever related to anything more where somebody was posting and they were like, yes, I could hit these goals if I want to. And I could like say I've made it.
Oh, is that Nathan's reel?
I don't know.
Maybe because like he was watching his wife.
Oh, I saw Nathan's
so
too.
Cute.
Yeah. This was
so
a different
cute.
one, but that one was so cute. It was a different one where they were like, but I would rather be the person that's constantly creating something new because I just love that. And so it's like, I don't have this like final destination in mind of like, yes, I've reached it and now I can coast. Now I can be here. Like we are creatives and we just want to keep creating and that's okay.
This was such a long-winded answer, but like it is totally okay to want this to be your full-time career. It is okay if you just want this to be a side hustle. It's okay to do both. We don't know personally if this fits into your lifestyle for it to be a side hustle, or if you just need the encouragement to be like, do it.
Yeah.
Go for it. Like, we believe in you.
Both are okay.
Like, just slide into our DMs and we'll give you a pep talk personally. Okay, next question. We already answered that one. That one was about kids. Can I say no to a session because my mental load is maxed out?
Yes.
Absolutely.
100%. This is where it pays off to have those people in your inner circle that are photographers, and you could be like, this person is better suited for you, or this person might have availability for you. Because maybe somebody has a question of like, somebody inquired for a session, but I don't know like how to tell them no. Some options of doing that are sending them referrals, being like, hey, this person has this obviously checking in with those people, but these people have this open and would be great, a great fit for you. And that way you're not telling them like, no, I don't want to work with you right now. But like you're giving them other options and you're still helping them. Like, oh, hey, like I can't do that right now, or I'm unavailable, or this person would be great. I think like it's okay to do that.
And it's okay if you don't want to photograph a certain thing anymore. So like if you're mentally like another one or something, like don't do it.
It's okay if like, even if it's at a location you don't want, or it's a session you don't want, anything about it you don't want, or it doesn't sit right or whatever, you can just say, hey, I'm unavailable for that, but this person is and would be a great fit. Or
I always remind myself, no is a full sentence. And I always go by, if it's not a hell yes, it's a no.
Yep.
Because I want to put my full effort into everything I'm doing. Maybe I'm too critical of my work and I really want it to tell that story and I want it to look good. And if I'm just doing it for a paycheck and I already know I'm tapped out, then I know it's not going to be my best work. And then I'm almost embarrassed by it. And then I don't want it to resurface. And then I feel bad because I'm like, oh, I didn't care enough and I should have just done this or that, blah, blah, blah. Where we can avoid the whole thing by just saying, I mentally can't do this right now. Or like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm busy. And just like you said, like refer it out.
Yeah. I kind of have a little thing to add to this too. If you are in a mental space where you can take more, but you're also like looking at somebody else's work or whatever, and you're like, okay, every wedding that they get, it reminded me of this when you said like the whole, like, absolutely. When you're looking at somebody else's work and everything they're shooting is top tier, you're like, how do they keep getting all these locations? They are also shooting weddings that they might like, but that do pay the bills. Like, it's okay if you do take something to pay the bills, even if it's not like, this is the best inquiry I've ever received. Like, but you know that you can still serve that couple your absolute best. You still love the couple, but it might not be something like flashy. Like, all of photographers are doing that. They're not sharing all their work. Like, you might be looking at something
that's marketing,
like,
and you don't have to share all your work.
They might be like, oh, look at all these weddings I did, and it looks like they shot 10 weddings that year that were a budget of like multiple six figures. You're not seeing every other wedding that they're shooting to make sure their bills are paid.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with keeping some things just on the hard drive. One, because sometimes clients want things private. And like, for some reason, when they want something private, you want to share something so bad, but I'm not a horrible person and I will keep it private.
Yes.
It's like, there's always times where, I'll take something and I love the client, but I don't love the venue, but I love the client. So I'll share other moments from their day, or, I don't ever, because I know I have some clients listening too. If I don't share something on social media, one, I might have forgotten. Two,
we plan out our feeds.
Two, I started scheduling my feed so I wouldn't forget. And then three, I might just be trying to get more of a certain job in a different area in that season of time.
I saw that comment on a thread a few days ago where somebody said, like, what is something that your photographer did or that you see photographers do that hurt your feelings as clients? And someone said, when they don't share my images to their feed. And I totally understand that. But you also have to realize as a client that most content is like very strategic and it's planned out in a very certain way. It's not personal at all. I have clients that like, did their images make it into my feed? I don't know. I almost always share on my stories.
I try so hard to always share on my stories though, because I am excited and I love my clients.
Yes. I almost always share on my stories just to like share, but my feed it's planned out. Like it has absolutely nothing to do with how I felt about a client if they didn't make it into my feed.
We hate you. No, just kidding. It's not possible. But like, I know that can be such a tricky thing with photographers too, is just like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to hurt my client's feelings, but also I don't want to shoot another wedding at a red barn with neon green grass, like Midwest problems.
Yes.
It's like, I want to get more of those high end weddings at the really high end venues. But to get those jobs, I got to stop sharing these jobs, but I don't want to hurt my clients' feelings. And I feel like it's just like a mix of both, where you can still share maybe certain moments that showcase like them somewhere else and not in that space. But like when I was transitioning out of church weddings, I still love those clients. I just didn't want to showcase churches anymore because I didn't want to hurt future clients' feelings because I was going to say no. Well, I was going to refer you. Yeah.
On our way here, I was pointing out every church in Milwaukee. I was like, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Like,
it's true.
Obsessed. I did. But when it comes to pivoting, like we were talking about before, if you have to like when it comes to strategic marketing, wow, that was a mouthful for a second. When it comes to that strategic marketing, maybe you're not sharing something because like you were saying, like Red Barn or whatever, maybe it's even like a certain location or area that you don't want to shoot in anymore. Mm-hmm. Like there's so many reasons behind why.
And for me right now, I'm trying to keep majority of my jobs in Colorado, Washington, and Utah. Like that's where I'm strategically trying to work because that's where I'm in love with right now.
Right.
And then like for the Midwest, I'm mostly in Wisconsin this year, a little bit of Michigan. The funny part is I have nothing in Iowa. Nothing. No, I have one. Just kidding. I take that back. But I know like them personally.
Half in Iowa, otherwise Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan.
Yeah. So it's like I try to split my time. Like Midwest wise, I'm mostly in Wisconsin this year. But then otherwise, like strategically, I'm trying to always show mountains. I'm trying to show my elopements because that's what I'm trying to book. And it has absolutely nothing personal to do with other things. And then I still try to share those clients in a certain way. And I still try to talk about them and share their stories. It's just, like you said, the feed is strategic to get marketing, to get certain things back in my business.
Well, and this is answering a question that's a little bit of a like spin off of that. If you're in a position where you're like, okay, I'm shooting here, but I do want to pivot to shoot somewhere else, but this is the content I have. You can be strategic with that content. Because let's say, for example, neon green grass, bright red barn, but there are shots there that I guarantee that are like close-ups of the bride and groom.
Exactly.
Or they're at their reception table, or they're cutting their cake, or they're having their first dance outside under a tent, or just sunset photos with trees in the background. Like you can make any content work.
Okay. I feel like those were some good questions.
Those were some really good questions.
We love when you send us questions. We will not be scared to answer them. So honestly, if you have other questions to ask us, always slide into the DMs. Alex, did you have any other final thoughts?
I don't think so. I think we nailed a lot in there.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will see you all next week. And just so you know, you should probably sign up for Mom Talk Mastermind if you want personal one-on-one help. Okay, that was one plug. All right, guys. See you later.
See you next week.